I'm David.
And I'm Dylan.
And we're the Wet Rats, here today to talk about Rooster Teeth's Day 5.
So we're going to be going over the whole season, so obviously there's going to be spoilers, so I mean, you can't complain about that.
Yeah, if you haven't finished the season, do that before you watch this, because we've got some stuff to talk about, and
also,
we're going to talk about
why are you here if you didn't watch it? So.
Yeah, exactly. If for any reason you didn't watch it, go watch it right now, because the whole season was great, and we both really liked it.
Yeah.
And now we want to talk about it and kind of not just discuss this season, but maybe give a few predictions of what we would like to see, or not like to see, but what we maybe hope to see in Season 2.
Sure.
So I guess we could go start with kind of the big thing is the ending.
Yeah.
There's a lot of little things we'll get into. We're going to try to make this video nice and quick for you guys. And be sure to let us know down in the comments what you guys think about all this, if you think we're really dumb, and all that. Sorry about that. That's not our door, is it?
No.
Someone's knocking, because our discussion is so good. Mm-hmm. We're going to reveal something important. Yeah. Rooster Teeth is at our door telling us not to record this, because we're going to give away something important.
Or our neighbors are watching, like, hey, I haven't watched it yet, stop it.
All right, so the ending.
Yeah.
Now, just to quickly recap, you've probably seen it, but if you haven't, again, getting into spoilers now. Meredith, was that the girl's name? The sniper girl?
Meredith.
So she wakes up at the end.
Yeah, it's a big reveal.
In big reveal, she wakes up, and...
Very Lost style.
Very, very Lost, yeah. Not quite zoomed in on the eye, but pretty similar.
Pretty
Alice is gone.
Mm-hmm.
Not entirely sure where.
Evaporated. Rapture.
Yep. A different kind of apocalypse.
Yeah, different kind of apocalypse.
Two shows are crossing over. Yeah, so he's gone, and we see a shot of a map, but it doesn't appear to indicate where he's gone. The map just shows
like,
Dallas.
Yeah, it just seems like
so maybe he's somewhere else in Dallas,
or we missed something on the map. Who knows?
Yeah, we tried to look at it. It just looked like it was highlighting Dallas, which of course is where they already are. But plot twist: Meredith was, I guess, plot twist on a plot twist, because originally she was like, oh, she's got to be with these people. Oh no, she's not. Oh no, she is. So it was like a double.
So like season 2 predictions, she's gonna flip flop again.
Yeah. But it is interesting because it made me think, like, was anything that she did for these people legitimate, or was it all acting?
Yeah.
Because it's easy to be like, oh, probably all acting, but some of it, maybe
she seemed more or less like her trying to see, like, okay, how close are they figuring out? Because I feel like if they ever actually were on the right track, she probably would have shut things down a lot sooner.
Exactly, yeah. So that makes me wonder if the broadcast thing had anything to do with anything.
Yeah, it seems like not likely right
red
now.
herring. But if it was, it makes me really wonder, like, what did Ellis figure out if it was completely unrelated to the broadcast? Because he wasn't onto her. Yeah. Because he wouldn't have just left her there if he was like, oh, she must still be pretending. So he must have figured out something else completely separate.
Right.
So I can't wait to see where that goes. I don't really have a prediction. I think we kind of talked about maybe the Houston thing that he remembered. He has the vision where he learns about Houston and the satellites there, and it's apparently just a hallucination.
Yeah.
But it's a weird scene to have in there if it's not important.
Right.
So I wonder if that does matter. Maybe that's why she allowed them to shut off the broadcast, because she was like, shut it off. It doesn't fucking matter.
Exactly.
Like, who cares?
And he never did actually reveal the satellite plan to them, did he?
No. I think he might have muttered something about Houston, but maybe not. Maybe I hallucinated that. But
there's a good chance
he definitely didn't explicitly say it. At least not that we saw.
Yeah, there's still a chance that something could be there.
Yeah, I just think that was too specific of a thing to bring up.
I'm also curious if anything that... So, like, we kind of mentioned this before, like, the whole hotel situation and why Meredith didn't want that girl to go to sleep. We're discussing kind of conclusions, like, she wanted... Obviously, whoever told that girl was in some sort of organization.
Yeah, whoever... So, yeah, because I was a little not sure, like, why Meredith would have not just killed them all.
Yeah.
And you brought up a good point, is like, because I was like, well, the one girl said she was going to go to sleep, and Meredith's like, no, don't go to sleep, let's talk about it. And I was like, why would she care if she's just going to let her die later? You brought up, well, she wanted to know about the phone call. Who called that? I was like, that's true, because she found that out at the hotel.
So now they have a mole or someone leaking information out of the organization.
Yeah.
So, I forgot I was going with that point.
So it's the one girl's sister.
She's the one girl's sister, yeah.
Which I'm sure it is. It'd be a weird thing to believe if it wasn't a fact. Trying to jog your memory.
I know. I was going on something, because I was really not to bring up another point. Oh well. Anyways, so yeah, it makes me okay. Now I remember it makes me wonder if something she was saying before why that girl's getting information sparked inspiration in Ellis, because she started mentioning all those things. So maybe he's like, oh. I can't think of what it would be, but as I was watching it, because the way they keep showing Ellis as she wants to sleep, I kept waiting for Ellis to be like, wait a minute, guys, I can't fall asleep.
Yeah, I was waiting for that.
I kept waiting for it, and I didn't see it happen. So maybe it did, and we just didn't get to see it on screen. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm sure he had his revelatory moment, and I'm sure we'll see like a flashback of that or something.
But I feel like a good reason we didn't get the revelatory moment was because it's going to spoil what's going to be happening next season.
Sure, and I guess it's funny because Rooster Teeth has been saying like this is the end of season 1, this is the season 1 finale, but I don't think they officially announced season 2.
I don't think
It'd
so.
be kind of funny if there wasn't one, and we're talking about all this and it means nothing. It's we don't have a season 2. That was it. Figure it out.
That could be true.
That would be really funny actually, because then this video would be pointless. But you're here watching it, so thanks for supporting this potentially pointless video. But yeah, I'm curious to see how that'll be handled in season 2. Anything else about like that storyline? Because there's a few other things I want to get into.
No, I think that's pretty much the whole gist.
Yeah, it's hard to do a lot of predictions on that one. I think. I guess we should.
That's more or less the build-up. That's more like the foreshadowing.
I do want to say let's give, and it doesn't have to be based on any fact. This is our wild card prediction. Who is this group, and why did they want to kill almost everybody? In the world? Let's just throw something out there. Let's get crazy.
So based off of assuming their sister is actually part of the organization, and they say she's kind of like an organic farmer spiritual, it does seem sort of like kind of like a eco-friendly kind of like suicide thingy, but it does seem weird that they would
like
kill
cleansing the earth kind of thing, Kingsman kind of thing.
Kingsman kind of thing, but it does seem weird though because they do address that animals die, so you wouldn't think an eco-friendly group would want all the animals to die.
Yeah, that's the thing is like I've been trying to think of like what the motivation would be to kill off almost everybody on the planet.
Yeah.
Because it's just from any human standpoint. Because what are the usual motivators like greed?
Yeah.
Hunger for power, which is kind of greed, want to control stuff, like all that stuff is like usually like the supervillain plans.
Yes.
None of that. I mean, I guess if you wanted to have control over the world, it's easy pickings at this point. But what are you controlling at that point? Everything's
that's what
dead.
I'm wondering. Is like
you're living in a hell world.
They have a group of people, so I guess they could repopulate the planet how they want to. And maybe they have like a Noah's Ark situation because we found the birds alive. So maybe
that's true, and that brings up a good point. We don't know how big this organization could be.
Yeah,
because it's easy to be like, why would only 20 people want to do that? Maybe it's 20 million people.
Yeah,
I mean, this could be a massive conspiracy.
Could be a big thing.
Yeah, and we learn in this season there are maybe these. I can't remember the exact term they use, like kind of these little pockets.
Yeah,
where maybe you can sleep and it's okay.
Right.
So maybe it's just like Australia was just pissed at the rest of the world.
Sure.
They're like, everybody else just. They don't like rugby as much as we do.
Yeah.
And those other countries don't even have kangaroos. Fuck them. Let's kill them.
Exactly.
So there you go. That's our prediction. It's Australia.
It's Australia. Australia did it.
It's
the
all
continent
Australia
itself. No, not the people, just the continent.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's just curious because your things are either like the accidental like eco-genocide, like hey, you guys are ruining the planet, we got to kill humans to save the planet, but the kill off animals so that it makes it's really hard to predict out of the typical like what you usually see. But again, we only have so little information, so maybe all that will be...
Exactly. Well, that's what I'm saying. This is just a weird wild card prediction. Yeah. We're not actually trying to predict because we just...
It's so hard.
I don't have a prediction. Not based on the current facts.
No. Maybe the next 2 stories we get, maybe they'll have the new story episodes, maybe they'll have some...
Yeah, so we're going to get 2 little shorts coming up, I'm sure all you guys know, in the next couple weeks. And we're not sure what those are going to offer. Nope. We might do follow-ups on those, depending on the information that they have, and if you guys like this video or not. But... yeah, I'm curious what those will be.
Yeah. We were talking earlier, we think one might be like a hospital before everything.
Yeah, it seems like there are a lot happen at the hospital, and there's a lot of characters there. The hospital, obviously, where they're trying to develop the cure.
Yeah.
With, like, the doctor, and...
doing all the trials.
And with all the kids. Like, it seems like there's a lot of backstory there that we can learn about. So I think it'd be safe to say that's where one of them is going to be. And we kind of talked about the other one will probably just be sort of a little teaser for Season 2, probably. Yeah. Not that they both will tease a little bit, I'm sure. What else we got to talk about? I'm going to bend over and look at our list, which is very discreetly in front of us on the floor. So we talked about like the signal. It probably wasn't really relevant.
Yeah.
I think it was still, they probably did use it as a broadcaster.
Sure.
But I think that hallucination Ellis had is probably accurate. That it's now on the satellite, and that's why Meredith is like, sure, shut it down, who cares?
Yeah.
What about Meredith's bird? Think it's just a well-trained bird? Is that a crow or a raven? I think at one point
it's a crow because ravens are much bigger than that, aren't they? I
don't know. At one point, I think I can't remember the character's name. The big dick dungeon master.
Yeah, big dick
he even says like it was a crow or a raven. So I don't even think they know.
Yeah,
they're like it's one of them birds.
That's something. It's a blackbird.
It's a blackbird.
I mean, you can train those birds. They're trainable birds.
Yeah, I mean they're smart. So that makes sense. It's just a funny pet.
It is a funny pet.
And I mean, presumably, I guess she led him there.
That's what it insinuates. That like the bird was there to bring people to them, which seems counterproductive to what they want.
Yeah.
It seems like they're keeping people out.
Yeah.
So maybe that bird is acting...
Well, it also said that, like, I don't remember exactly the mileage. I think he said, like, I followed it for, like, 5 days and hundreds of miles or something like that. It's like, let me hear. Was that... I mean, that girl's surely been there protecting Austin. Did she, like, send this bird out? Like, bring me dungeon masters.
Maybe it's supposed to be, like, the whole Noah's Ark theme where, like, you know, send out the raven and it goes to fly and pick up things back.
Yeah, maybe.
I don't know.
Who knows? Find the guy with the biggest dick. Mm-hmm. Bring him here.
Bring him here.
That's my theory.
We need big dicks.
We got to repopulate the Earth.
Our sleeper cell's full of tiny dicks.
Okay, so another character to quickly discuss, to change gears here. Flip, the goddess of Slumberland, I believe was the title given to her, which is Barbara Dunkelman's character, Rooster Teeth alum. What do you think that represents? Obviously, it's only specific to...
I still think it's not
Jake,
confirmed whether it's a hallucination or not, though.
Jake's the older one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Still don't know if it's a hallucination or not.
That's true. We don't know for sure. I mean,
because
it
he saw it again, but it was in what we all knew was
yeah,
already
so the original one could have been real, but I'm guessing it's a hallucination.
Sure.
I saw somebody online say, like, I think that's like, what if his sister was grown up, which would be weird because she's like...
super weird.
Because she's like almost naked, and that would be really weird if he was visualizing his sister in that way. Yeah. So I'm going to say that, I'm going to hope that that's not true.
I'm going to say no thanks.
Yeah, no thanks on that one. But it would be interesting to see, like, and we don't really know much about Jake's past.
No, we don't.
Other than, like, his parents, like, we learned about his backstory with his parents and his sister. But anything in his personal life, we know nothing about his career.
That's true.
We know he's a junkie, and that's it. So, I mean, it could be somebody from his life. It could be somebody
I guess,
new.
The facts we know is he was smart, but then started doing drugs, presumably because his mother killed... the parents got divorced and the mother killed herself. Doesn't have a good relationship with the father. Doesn't like his stepmom, but does like his stepsister.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's kind of just all we know, right? Like,
was it his stepsister or his
stepsister?
Oh, okay.
Because he talked about how, like, the relationship between the mom and that.
Okay. But yeah, so I don't really have a prediction on what she could represent, because we just don't know enough about Jake yet. And it might not have anything to do with his actual character. It could be something totally different, totally random.
I am glad that this wasn't season finale, because I just feel like we can't have this series end until Sam loses his virginity. As weird as it's going to be to show, I just feel like you set it up, you just have to.
Yeah, real quick, we had a little audio skip there. Our camera stops recording every 12 minutes, so sorry about that. But that's what happened. Yeah, that was... I forgot, like...
The adjustment season one, yeah.
Yeah, that sounds like the best goal, or like whatever.
If it has... As weird as that's going to be...
Yeah, I mean, because if you really start thinking about it, it's like, oh, we shouldn't say that it should be about a kid having sex.
Yeah.
We don't mean it like that. We're not trying to be weird about it. It's just, it's funny. Like, that was his goal. And, like, it'd be funny if this character arc ends with something addressed in the first episode. It's like, that's that character.
Yeah, you don't have to, like... definitely don't show it.
Oh, yeah.
Definitely don't show it. But that goes without saying.
Yeah, but just have, like, the world is cured, and, like, Sam, like, walks out of the room from the night before, and Jake looks over at him, and Sam just, like, gives him a little wink, and that's it.
Yeah,
and that's all, you know. Just
he just kisses that girl that he met in the colony people.
I don't think that girl's gonna be around much.
Yeah, probably not.
Probably not. I think that girl might be gone, but pretty blatant.
What's the redhead's name?
Allie.
Allie. Maybe Allie throws him a bone. I don't know.
Now that would be weird. Because
she's single now. As this episode was wrapping up, and I thought it was going to be the last episode, I was like, is that what they're going to do? That'd be weird.
We're getting off of some weird tangents here. Let's focus back on the show. I was going to talk about something important. What was it, Dylan?
I don't know.
What was I going to
talk about? The flight recorder?
No, but let's talk about the flight recorder. So, I don't think it was really explicitly shown if Ellis took the flight recorder with him or not.
Because we originally thought, well, maybe he left the map because there's people in the room are dead, according to him. Well, as far as he knows.
Yeah, well, the other two are for sure.
Yeah, the other two are for but when he wakes up,
yes, he thinks
as far as he knows, everybody's dead.
As far as we know, as far as he knows.
As far as we know.
But if he knew the other girl was alive, it'd be weird that you wouldn't like interrogate her.
Exactly.
Especially when she's so vulnerable.
Yeah, and because I thought I mentioned like it just seems weird you wouldn't check on them, but Ellis is out of his mind right now, so I could see why he wouldn't be doing that. He's just out of his mind. So he wouldn't leave that map for them. That makes no sense. So when we thought maybe he left the map for the other people, they found the recorder. But that map gives no new information. So it doesn't make sense anything at all. So maybe it's still there, maybe it's not. I don't know, it just seems weird he'd leave a recorder saying he's dead. If he's not dead.
Yeah. But again, I mean, we don't know what happened. I mean, somebody might have even came and grabbed him or something. True. We don't know if he walked out on his own or like a million things could have happened. I think probably he had some kind of revelation and he walked out. I think that's the obvious answer, and I think that's probably what happened. But maybe a bigger bird came and took him.
That's probably it. I think a bigger bird.
That'll be the first.
This one's a dove. This one was a dove.
Bigger
this one's
bird.
a dove.
Yeah, exactly.
You got a good versus evil bird.
Oh, that'd be nice. It ends in a bird fight.
Yeah.
It was the birds all along. What else is that? I mean, that's pretty much everything, right? Do we have anything else? I think we kind of touched on everything. Yeah.
Cell phone connecting. Things that they didn't really address that we assume they're going to bring back in, I guess, would be...
Yeah, so it was mentioned in the first Day 5 short, I'm not sure what the title of that was, that you can create kind of a local area network. I don't know if it's just local. It might be bigger.
And it could be bigger,
But
I guess. I think
an area network using cell phones.
Yeah.
Despite the fact that cell towers are down. Which, they never did talk about why are cell phone towers down either, which maybe they won't. Maybe that's important. Maybe that has to do with the rest of it.
Because there's still electricity.
Yes.
And there's still broadcasting happening.
Yeah, and the internet was still up. I know that it was down when they got to Dallas, but he was on the Big Dick Dungeon Master was using the internet before that.
Oh, he was?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because that's how he shut down the power grid. Because when they get to the when he's trying to trace the phone number, he's like, "Damn, the internet's down. It was working a while ago, but now it just went down."
Okay.
Here. So the internet was up, but cell phones were down.
Oh, okay. Cell phones were down. Internet's up. Okay. I get what you're saying now. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, it was quickly established that you could create an area network using cell phones. That information was given to, I don't know the character's name, it was played by Katie Ward. Ward? But she died.
Yeah.
And so that information died with her. I guess the other character still knew it, whoever that other chick was, who had a lot of cell phones. But it seems like that information was more for the audience than to actually have those characters do anything with it.
Because I feel like that was a separate episode to explain this knowledge without letting the other characters know that knowledge.
Yeah.
So we know this.
Yeah. And maybe that's how the enemies are communicating?
Sure. Because it just seems like that short was put in that episode very intentionally for us as an audience to know that.
Yes.
But we didn't get that payoff yet. So it seems like that has to be paid off at some point.
Yeah. All right. That's pretty much everything from season 1. There's probably some other smaller stuff we missed, but that's the broad strokes. Any other season 2 predictions? I think we talked about this before. Joel's character has to come back.
Joel's character's coming back.
Now, I say has to. Maybe it won't, but
Maybe
I just feel like
it just seems like
his character. I even saw somebody on Reddit. I can't remember the exact phrasing, so sorry for not quoting you correctly. I also don't know your name, but they said something about it seems crazy that a man who's literally designed to withstand this apocalypse would not come back.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, that's a really good point. But I just think that that character has to come back in some way.
Yeah.
Although honestly, if he didn't, that was a really great way to end that character storyline.
Sure.
And a really incredible way to use that RTX footage.
Yeah.
Which I wasn't sure how they were gonna do that in a way that made sense with the rest of the narrative.
So, speaking of season 2 predictions,
yes.
Are they going to change the name of the show?
That's a good question because it's day 6 now.
Yeah.
So yeah, it'd be interesting to see. It wouldn't make sense to change the name of the show because that's not what you do with shows.
I get the show has been. I just have a feeling it was a situation of the show had been announced for so long as day 5.
Yeah.
But the
show grew. Yeah, the title was already that, and I think it got to the point where they couldn't change the title.
Yeah.
But the show grew bigger and bigger, and was like, hey, we're going to need to show more than just day 5.
Yeah. Day 5 is fine. Just keep it day 5.
Yeah, I agree.
I think
keep it. It's
kind of funny. Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, it will be interesting if day 5 has 5 seasons and they're like, it's day 300. It's like, okay.
Yeah.
But it is what it is.
It is what it is. I still like that name.
Yeah, it's a great name. Why would you change it? It's a good name.
It's good.
It's short and it's catchy and it's cool. Any crazy throw out predictions?
Yeah.
Because I think all the ones that we have actual facts for, we already did. So let's just throw a balls out there theory that doesn't have to make any sense. Just something that you think would be real cool to season 2. Forgot how to talk.
Sam hits puberty. And it messes with his sleep cycle.
Yeah, and then here's what happens.
Uh-huh.
Here's the prediction. So Sam's going to hit puberty, but they're not going to know how to handle that in the show. So we'll have the bad guys. They'll come and they'll kidnap him and put him on a raft, and they'll take him out, and then they'll blow up the other raft that the other day 5-stars are. They're not really near the ocean. Not that Texas is that far, but
they went to Australia.
They're going to go to Australia. That's true. They'll take a raft to Australia, and halfway there, the other group will come and steal the kid, and then yeah, it's a lost joke if you guys didn't get it. Rate 5 stars for how funny this video was and how funny that joke was, and that's our predictions.
I can't. It just makes it's hard to say because we don't know how many more seasons there's going to be. So we don't know what can happen.
I thought this was going to be it.
I did too.
Watching this episode, I thought this would be it.
Yeah,
and I was like, how are they going to wrap? There's so much to talk about.
Because even after we watched episode 5, that's what we talked about.
It was there's so many threads, and Ellis's story is so far removed at that point from the other ones. How are those going to tie together?
Next season, I think they're going to bring the networking together. They're going to try and find those sleeper pockets. We're going to actually finally probably see into that organization, people doing this stuff. I think it's.
Yeah, but the question is will that be the last season? Will that be
the last season? Or what?
It depends on how many. Because I'm somebody and this is a personal preference. I'm not saying this would be wrong for the show. I love a show that's really succinct.
Yes,
I was excited by a show that was only 6 episodes and then done. But it was really good. And I'm excited for season 2. And I want to see more
because I felt like it needed. I felt like it deserved.
Yeah, I agree. But I don't. if they write it really good and they do 10 seasons, great. But I would kind of hope that it was shorter, just because, you know, I think especially with post-apocalyptic stuff, it gets to the point where you're like, I get it. You know, like The Walking Dead, for example. Like, I know people still love that show, but it gets to the point where I'm like, okay, let's not watch it anymore, because it's just the same thing every week.
You know, see, I feel like season 2, perfect.
Yeah,
that's perfect.
And if they really have enough legs, make it a trilogy.
I just say season 3. To me, again, I can't tell you don't know anything right, so don't want to speak out of turn. But to me, 3 seasons seems like your cap.
Yeah,
3 for sure.
Yeah. But I mean, if they have really good stuff, then sure, continue it, or even make it an anthology series, which we kind of thought they might do.
Sure,
where like other people's stories.
But then it kind of gets to the point of like, okay, you guys are still awake, unless the sleep becomes not a problem anymore. Because sleep doesn't. I mean,
the show could become about something else. It could become about a much larger thing of battling with this group or
reorganizing the earth and like things that totally could.
Yeah,
so, sure. Sure.
Yeah, for now we're excited to see more.
Yeah, totally excited. Good season, good show. Probably the best internet show.
Maybe ever.
Actually, I really think,
out of I mean, there's other shows that like a Netflix exclusive. Sure. You could call that an internet show, but it's not made by an internet group.
No.
You know, like 11/22/63 wasn't made by an internet group. James Franco is a huge movie star. He did that.
But you could argue that's still technically cable because they're owned by cable companies.
Yeah, that's true. So. But like in terms of a show made by an internet production company.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's a better one. Not that I've seen. This is really blew me away. So,
and even from like a
completely objective. Like we were both Rooster Teeth fans, obviously, because we had the memberships. But yeah, I think I would recommend this to anybody.
I would like people who don't even know Rooster Teeth. I would still recommend the show.
Yeah, definitely.
It was a really good show.
But yeah, let us know what you guys think, because part of the reason we're doing these videos, we want to discuss it and we want to see what other people thought of that ending and like some of the stuff.
Communication with each other.
Exactly. So be sure to let us know. You can either comment on the YouTube video. You can also talk to us on Twitter. Twitter.com/TheWetRats. I'm David.
I'm Dylan.
Again, we're the Wet Rats. Thanks for watching.
Goodbye.
And whatever you do, don't fall asleep.
Get it?